Hi. Yes, I'm having an honest conversation with my son today about natural hair. And he was really little when I used to wear my hair permed, and I stopped wearing it permed and I started wearing it natural, but it was flat ironed. And I just remember when you were really little, you saying to me, "Oh, mommy, your hair looks really pretty." When he would say that, my hair was always straight. It had been flat ironed. Do you remember that? You would say how pretty it was.
Yes, to a faint degree.
Yeah, I know you vaguely remember it, but it was. I just remember it. And now, yesterday, you came to me and you said, "Oh, your hair is really pretty in its natural state." And today, I have it in these two-strand twists. I always have to remember. Yeah, I had to two-strand twist it because my husband braids super duper tight, and
Fabulous.
it's just super tight. So I figured if he did two-strand twist, it wouldn't be as tight, and it wouldn't hurt because when he does, my scalp hurts because he pulls so hard.
He doesn't know how to gauge his strength.
Yeah.
That's why I don't let him
Pull
cut
my
my hair
shirt up.
anymore.
Pull this up. Pull my shirt up.
I cut my own hair, people.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what we were talking about today. So he's come from thinking that only straight hair is pretty. That was a noise. We thought someone was trying to break in. No, we didn't.
We have guns. We'll be fine.
Yeah, we do, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately. It's a little scary, but yeah, you need to have guns these days, in my opinion. Anyway, but this is not a video about guns. This is about natural hair. So he's gone from thinking that only straight hair was beautiful. As a small, he was little. He was around 5, maybe 5 or 6. The last time I wore my hair straight, even in its natural state, I flat iron it. But I stopped doing that because heat was just breaking off. I didn't have any hair around my edges, and I had breakage in the back, so it would be long everywhere. And then I had a piece that broke off that was really short, and it's still in the back. There's still a few strands my husband says are shorter than everywhere else. But I just really wanted to have an honest conversation with him about how he feels about natural hair.
I honestly don't think it'll be that hard to take on an endeavor in natural hair. Just stop going to salons and get your hair products that you know are organic and utilize less, artificial chemicals.
Right. I mean, because when men wear their hair natural, with the few exceptions of Reverend Al Sharpton and, I guess James Brown, but it was natural. I guess it's just, well, I think James Brown used to just straighten his, maybe Reverend Al Sharpton puts a perm in his. I don't know. But I guess for those few men who wear, I don't know, curls or, I forgot that other process. Some men wear curls in their hair and they process their hair. And I think back in a long time ago, maybe in the 60s, they used to do something called conch, which would straighten their hair and make it more flaxen, I guess.
That's terrible.
Well, it's not. It unfortunately it
Well,
was
not
done.
to them, but
No, but I think it was done to be more accepted in white society, and I think unfortunately it made white people, Caucasians, feel better, I guess, to see them with straight hair. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I was born towards the end of the 60s, so I didn't actually experience or know anyone who lived during that time and went through that era as to what was going on. I mean, only from what I read in the book, The Autobiography of Malcolm X, which is Malik El Shabazz. No, Malik El-Shabazz is Malcolm X's name after he made his pilgrimage to Mecca. Silly. But his name is Malik, so that's why he's pointing to himself. But yeah,
I'm secretly his son.
No, he's not. So anyway, in the book it talked about conch, which I guess is spelled with a C, ends with a K, and stuff that he mixed and put in his hair, and I guess they just thought it looked better. I don't know. I don't know if straight hair is just easier or if it was done to
That's how you know people have self-esteem issues.
make people, but it was on both ends. It was on the ends of people of color for them to feel as if this is the only way that white society would accept them, and it's also on their end that they feel threatened or afraid of anyone whose hair or skin doesn't look like theirs, which is really kind of sad in a way. But anyway, no, but I mean, that's their truth, and it's pretty much really their problem. I think that what African Americans should do and other people of color is not allow their problems to become, their own problems. If that's their problem, that they're afraid or, I don't know, jealous or envious of people of color or different hair, then let it stay their problem and not make it your own. So
I can
anyway,
imagine that's how slavery said, well, these people's hair aren't straight. Let's make them work for us.
I don't know. It never really made slavery doesn't make any sense to me. I understand the reasons and how it happened, but how one human being could look at another human being and say, "Oh, they're savages. These aren't human beings." But you see two arms and you see two legs, and obviously the men have the same parts and the women have the same parts.
It's just skin. They think they probably thought the whole world was supposed to be full of men of pale coloration,
I don't know.
Caucasian. And then when they saw us, it's like, oh God, what are these things?
I don't know. I don't really know what they were thinking, but I just know that people of color were wearing their hair. I even saw in a documentary one tribe where the men's hair is worn long and the women's hair is worn short, bald, and of course with other decorations and jewelry and their tribal clothing, which I found really interesting. So it's not even that even all over the world that women wear their hair long and men wear their hair short, because now with the natural hair movement happening again, I'm not really sure what happened to the movement back in the 70s when African American women and men wore afros. I don't know why it stopped. I don't know if it was for employment reasons or I don't know. It just sort of stopped. It seemed as if all of the really powerful movements sort of happened before you and I were both born.
Mm-hmm.
But now there seem to be more movements happening now that you're of age. Some really interesting movements are happening. One which we're discussing today is natural hair, and just how you've gone from as a young child under the age of 5 or 6, thinking that only straight was pretty on your mom, to now at 17 looking at my tryst and going, Mom, your hair is really beautiful. So look how time has changed for you in the short years that you've been alive, and the difference how you felt about my hair. As you stated in the picture, when I was Miss Wheelchair Ohio, my hair was permed, to when I went flat ironed and it was still straight but natural, and still damaged, to now wearing it totally naturally with curls.
And something I just want to put out there, and starting with a question, Mom, how much money does it cost you now going natural than it did when you were going to salons
Oh, well,
and getting all that work done by professionals?
well, they were professionals. I mean, they had to obtain a license and go to school. I don't know everything that they learn about, but I know they learn about. I know they obviously have to learn about hair and skin and probably bones and I don't know what, but they do have to take a course or several courses, and they do have to obtain, I don't know if it's a certificate or a degree, but there are colleges, there are barber colleges now, and there are colleges that train hairdressers how to do hair, and then they have to go to a board where they take a test in order to get a license. Now, there are people, let me finish, there are people that do hair in their home that may not be certified or licensed, and maybe you just go to them for something specific like I don't know, braiding or maybe hair weaves. So not everyone, but most people I'm certain of in salons or shops have certificates that say that they completed a certain amount of hours of training and passed the test to become what is known as a licensed hairdresser. So to further answer your question, I spend, I think I think I spend less money buying. I spend less money only because the money that I used to spend going to the salon I now use on buying natural hair products like
About how much a month?
listen, like shea butter, coconut oil, different oils, and mostly I use shea moisture products and this one macadamia nut healing oil from this one company. So probably around 60, I spend around $60 when I go to purchase hair products, maybe 60, sometimes a little more. But the hair salon, now of course these prices were from the 80s. To get a relaxer touch-up was around $40. To get a cut and trim was around 20. I'm sure it's way more now because the last time I went to have my hair professionally colored, because of the amount of hair that I have, it was $110. So I probably spend less being natural, but the biggest thing I have back from being natural is time. Because going to the salon, you'd always have to make an appointment. You'd wait until the lady could shampoo you, and after she shampooed you, then you waited until your actual stylist could style you, and then you'd sit under the dryer, and in between you'd wait while she worked on someone else's head, in between working with you, and then she'd go back and finish. So I would spend anywhere from 2 to 4 hours at the salon, and if I were having my hair braided or any other style, it was usually longer. I actually remember when I was younger going to a salon with my cousin in New York, and she was having like I want to say it was a wig placed in her hair. It was, or maybe it was a weave. I'm not really sure, but I was young. I don't know. I was just a lot younger, so it seemed like it was all day. We went in the morning, and we didn't come out till it was almost time to go and get dinner. So it was it's because it's kind of like a lot of social interaction. There's talking going on, people selling things. This is what my experience was in New York. People came in and they sold things. People you hadn't seen in a long time, they were having conversations.
Food, movies.
No, not back in the 80s. Not at this time. There wasn't any bootlegging going on. But at least not at the salon that we were in New York. So, like I said, I'm talking about the 80s when everything was on VHS and there wasn't anything on DVD, or there weren't CDs or DVDs as in your day. So that's what we wanted to talk about. And I'm just really grateful to see the progress that he's made in his opinion. There's nothing wrong with him thinking that straight hair is beautiful, because he can still think that.
Oh, shallow.
He thinks he was shallow. I don't think it was shallow. It was just what he was used to seeing me wear my hair straight, so he thought that must be what beautiful is supposed to look like. But then when I started wearing my hair in twist, he never said that until today. So that was years later.
Shallow.
I don't think it was shallow. I just think that, his opinion grew over time as he grew and matured. So this is what this is what I'm grateful for today. After having this honest conversation with my son about his opinions about natural hair and women who wear their hair natural. He wears his hair natural.
Of course. 90% of the men do.
I think so. All right. Well, thank you so much for viewing this video and for stopping by my channel. Bye-bye for now.